When I was much younger, I was an emotional water cannon. I used to spray that shit all over the place. I used to soak people in my emotions. I never understood what emotions were. I didn't know how emotions worked, and I believed that emotions controlled me and that I could never have any control over them. I used to believe that if I was stuck in an emotional state like anxiety, stress or depression, that emotion would last forever. Certainly for days, weeks, months, and as I say, potentially forever. And it was a pretty shitty place to be. And I don't know if you've ever been in a place where you think that your emotions control you and you feel like you are an emotional water cannon yourself, spraying that shit all over the place. Well, if you have, then here's something really important to understand about emotions that may help. You see, an emotion is energy in motion. It comes and goes in waves. It doesn't, like I used to believe, stay forever. In fact, it doesn't stay for a very long time. The chemical process that creates any emotion lasts for around 90 seconds. It's actually under 90 seconds, but let's just say for just an average of 90 seconds. That's a very short amount of time. So if you have anxiety and it lasts for longer than 90 seconds, you are doing something to sustain the emotion. Not consciously, but unconsciously. Now, one of the things we do to sustain an emotion is this: we label it. We give the things we're feeling, we give the bodily sensations we have a label. We might say this is stress, this is anxiety, this is guilt, etc. Now, the problem with giving something a label is that it does help to sustain the emotion. Why does it help to sustain an emotion? Very simply, anything you identify with, i.e. give a label to, has the power to control you. But here's the good thing: anything you disidentify with, you regain the power over. So once upon a time, many years ago, when you were a child, you had a bunch of sensations, you didn't know what they meant, you asked someone who was older than you what they meant, and for their best guess, they told you that those sensations you're having, those feelings, are anxiety, are sadness, are guilt, etc. And you went on for the rest of your life believing that. You gave it a label. Labels sustain emotions. If you're in an anxious state like I used to be, and I would go, oh my God, I'm so anxious, why can't I get out of this anxiety, etc. I was solidifying it, I was sustaining it, I was making it worse, I was getting that cycle to repeat on top of itself again and again and again. So rather than label your emotions, do a little experiment with me, or do an experiment for me. Stop doing that. Go back to where you started when you had a bunch of sensations as a child. You didn't know what they were, you weren't given them a label at that time. And then when you feel these sensations bubbling up inside of you today, now, don't go, oh, it's my anxiety, it's my worry, etc. Ask yourself this very simple question: what else could this mean? And let's dig into it, because once you do that, when you break the cycle, you don't give it the label, that anchor that you've anchored that thing to you. When you stop doing that and you ask the simple question, what else could this mean? Puts you back into your prefrontal cortex, which pulls you out of the emotional state and gives you a chance for those chemicals to flush through your system and you to move through it. Don't believe me, just try it.